While Activase comes in vials of 50 milligrams and 100 milligrams, the 100 milligram vial is most commonly used. Activase should be reconstituted immediately before use and only by aseptically adding sterile water for injection USP without preservatives. This preparation will result in a colorless to pale yellow transparent solution containing Activase 1 milligram per milliliter. Activase may be administered as reconstituted at 1 milligram per milliliter. As an alternative, the reconstituted solution may be diluted further immediately before administration in an equal volume of 0.9% sodium chloride injection USP or 5% dextrose injection USP to yield a concentration of 0.5 milligrams per milliliter. When diluting and adding the contents of the 100 milligram vial of sterile water for injection to the contents of the 100 milligram Activase powder, mix with a gentle swirl or slow inversion. Slight foaming upon reconstitution is not unusual. Allowing the can refer to the Activase dosing slide calculator. When administering intravenous kilogram, and the total dose should not exceed 90 milligrams. Treatment should be infused over 60 minutes with 10% of the total Activase dosing slide calculator. The total dose is easily determined to be 73.6 milligrams or milliliter equivalents. Remember that Activase has been reconstituted to 1 milligram per milliliter. Starting at the right, note that the unused quantity is 26.4 milliliters. You may draw this quantity out of the 100 milligram vial before administration using a syringe. Dose is 10% of the total Activase dose, or 7.4 milliliters for a patient weighing 180 pounds. The infusion dose for a patient weighing 180 pounds is 66.2 milliliters. This is 90% of the total dose. It is also the amount of solution remaining in the 100 milliliter vial after removal of the excess solution and bolus dose. The bolus dose may be prepared using one of the following methods. The first is to remove the appropriate volume from the vial of reconstituted Activase using a syringe and needle. Activase can also be administered by programming an infusion. Insert the needle into the peripheral area of the vial top, away from the puncture site caused by the transfer device. The remainder of the Activase dose may be administered by inserting the spike end of an infusion set through the same puncture site created by the transfer device in the stopper of the vial of reconstituted Activase. The vial may then be hung from the plastic molded capping attached to the bottom. If your hospital uses 50 milligram vials, reconstitution should be carried out using a large bore needle and syringe, directing the stream of sterile water for injection USP into the lyophilized cake. Do not use if vacuum is not present. Slight foaming upon reconstitution is not unusual. Standing undisturbed for several minutes is usually sufficient to allow dissipation of large bubbles.